Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I am going to discuss the topic temperature measuring devices. For week 3, for the subject Auto 1 or Automation 1. So just read all of these uh, table of competence. This is taken from the STCW function. So let's get started. Measurement of process value. So temperature measuring devices. So we have here our learning objectives. Explain the principle of operation of various measuring instruments used on board ship, such as temperature measuring devices. So I have also to discuss and define the different types of temperature measuring sensor devices, such as thermocouples, RTD or resistive temperature detector, thermistors, pyrometer, bimetallic devices, and I have also to discuss the characteristics of the different temperature measuring devices and the condition for which they are suitable. So here we have thermocouple. It's an electrical device consisting of two dissimilar electrical conductors forming an electrical junction. A thermocouple produces a temperature-dependent voltage as a result of Seebeck effect. This voltage can be interpreted to measure temperature. So we have here the illustration of thermocouple. We have the flame here, flame, and we have the junction. So uh, this junction, there is a connected sensor. For example, we use the thermocouple in our uh, exhaust gas of the main engine, for example. So we have heated the sensor of our thermocouple. So there is the similar metal one, the similar metal two, which is your wire going to your uh, millivolt meter. So it is read here the voltage, because the signal here from the your sensor is sent to your controller, and then it is read to your voltmeter. So let us proceed. So these are the pictures of different types of thermocouples. So thermocouples are widely used type of temperature sensor. So we usually use this type of thermocouple on board ship. This one. Next, so there are many types of thermocouples. We have type G, E, T, and E. Are base metal thermocouples, the most common types of thermocouples, as you can see here. So type R is and B thermocouples are noble metal thermocouples, which are used in high temperature applications. So we usually use this thermocouple in our cooling system of the main engine. So the freshwater cooling system. So both main engine and the auxiliary engine. So We use also this one in the seawater system. We use also in the low temperature freshwater system and high temperature freshwater system of our main engine and auxiliary engine. So that is those are the examples of the application of this type of thermocouples. So we have the different types of thermocouples and their temperature ranges. So we discuss one by one. So we have type G thermocouple. This thermocouple consists of an iron and a constantan. It has a more restricted range, so minus 40 degrees Celsius to plus 70 degrees Celsius, but higher sensitivity about 50 microvolt over degrees Celsius. So the Curie point of the iron is 770 degrees Celsius, causes a smooth change in the characteristic, so which determines the upper temperature limit. So type J thermocouple may be used in vacuum, reducing, oxidizing, and inert atmosphere. So that is one type of a thermocouple, which is type J thermocouple. Next, we have also type K thermocouple. So this thermocouple consists of a chromel and an alumel lig. So it is the most common general purpose thermocouple with sensitivity of approximately 41 microvolt over degrees Celsius. So it is inexpensive, and a wide variety of probes are available in its minus 200 degrees Celsius to plus 1,350 degrees Celsius range. So this thermocouple is fairly accurate and stable at high temperatures. So we have also type T, type T thermocouple. So this thermocouple consists of a copper and a constantan leg. So these thermocouples are suited for measurements in the minus 200 to plus 350 degrees Celsius range. So type T thermocouples have a sensitivity of about 43 microvolts over degrees Celsius. So it may be used in a vacuum, oxidizing, reducing, and inert atmospheres. So it maintains good resistance to corrosion in most atmospheres and high stability at sub-zero temperatures. So we just read first the different types of thermocouples, and we discuss later on the other important information regarding thermocouples. So we have here the type A thermocouples. This thermocouple consists of one chromel lig and one constantan lig. So this thermocouple is not subject to corrosion. So in most atmospheres, so it has a high output, so 68 microvolt over degrees Celsius, which makes it well suited for cryogenic use. So additionally, it is non-magnetic. So we have also type B, R and S thermocouple. Type B, R and S thermocouples are use platinum or a rhodium alloy for its conductor. So these are among the most stable thermocouples, but have lower sensitivity than other types. So approximately 10 microvolts slash degrees Celsius. So type R and S may be used up to 1,480 degrees Celsius. So we use this one in the exhaust individual exhaust manifold of the main engine and auxiliary engine, also from the inlet of the turbo and outlet of the turbocharger of the engine, because this is can be used in a higher temperature. So here the application. So one of the application of our thermocouple is in the cooling system of our main engine here. So high temperature press water of the main engine, and the low temperature press water of your auxiliaries. So as you can see here, there is a high temperature press water controller. So here, this controller, there is a wire. As you can see here, there is a wire. So this is connected, and this is connected to the pipe. So here in the pipe, there is a sensor which is called our thermocouple. So it can detect the signal here, the temperature, and send to the controller so that it can be controlled automatically. So that is why we call this this is the application of the automation. So as well as here also in the low temperature press water, so we have also the sensor here connected. So this is controlled automatically because the temperature here of the press water is being detected by your sensor couple and send the signal to the controller. So this is one of the application. So next we have the RTD. So what is RTD? Temperature sensor. So an RTD or resistance temperature detector is a sensor whose resistance changes as its temperature changes. So this resistance increases as the temperature of the sensor increases. So the resistance versus temperature relationship is well known and is repeatable over time. So we will see here. So this is an example of our RTD. So resistive temperature detector. So this is cooling water. This one here. This is a pipe, and this is your sensor probe. This one, and this is your transmitter here. So this is a sensor inside of this cover. This is a metal cover which is submerged to the uh, to the press water inside the pipe, and when this cover of the sensor inside the element is this one is heated, it can detect by the element inside, which is the sensor, and send the signal to the transmitter through transmitter and going to the controller. So here, there. So to the controller, and it sends to the uh, what we call the thermometer, which is the reading. So that is RTD, resistive temperature detector. So what is inside here? Here inside this metal probe is this one. So this is the sensor inside. So there is wire. So metal one and metal two. This is a wire that is connected to positive and negative. So this is the sensor inside. So this is the cover, the metal cover. See? So this is the sensor inside, and this is connected to the transmitter. So the signal is like this, as you can see. So when this current, all the volts, the millivolts is passing through this your sensors. As you can see here. So this is negative pole and the positive pole. So positive and negative. So it sends signals to the transmitter and to the controller and to your thermometer. So it's either because this is a electronic signal, so it sends to the uh, electronic thermometer or the digital thermometer signal, so it can read the temperature. So this is the result. So as this heated, as you can see here, here is the color here is gray, so it's not it heated up, but here it becoming red. Now it's red, so the sensor is heated, so it sends signals to your through your transmitter and through your uh, controller, and the reading is converted into temperature here because it detects the temperature uh, where the sensor is mounted. Simply the this is cooling water temperature because this is lower. So it detects the temperature of the cooling water here inside of the pipe. This is cooling water here, and this is now the reading. So that is the application of the RTD. So next, so this is when you remove this from the pipe. So this is look alike. So this is the sensor probe that is submerged in your pipe. This is the transmitter. So now this is the reading. This is the digital thermometer of your RTD. So we have here the application. So this is the animation of the engine. We have here the cooling, so coolant inlet. So here is blowing your jacket uh, cooling space of your engine, and this is circulated by the use of the pump. So this is that. So there is a thermometer, individual thermometer in each cylinder here. So it can detect by your RTD sensor. So this is also your cooling system of your main engine. This is main engine. So there is a sensor here. Here is a sensor. So in your pipe. So this is a high temperature press water system. So there is a sensor in your outlet, sensor of your inlet here. So RTD sensor. So here we have a thermistor. So is a resistance thermometer. So this is thermometer or a resistor whose resistance is dependent on the temperature. So the term is a combination of a metal and a thermal and resistor. So when temperature increases, the resistance increases, and when temperature decreases, resistance also decreases. So this type of thermistor is generally used as a fuse. So here, so resistance and temperature. So as you can see here, so we have here positive temperature coefficient, PTC. So as you can see here, when the resistance is increases, so this illustration is going up, the arrow, so it is increases. So we have the resistance here is 261 ohms. So the temperature also increases. We have 32 degrees Celsius or 90 degrees Fahrenheit. So if the resistance is increases, the temperature also is increases with this what we call this thermistor. So here also resistance decreases. So now is 199 ohms. Before is 261. So the negative, so this is negative temperature coefficient. So here is positive. So if positive temperature coefficient, the temperature of the resistance increases and the temperature increases. But in the negative temperature coefficient, when the resistance decreases, the temperature increases. So as you can see here on the arrow. So next, we have here the experiment. So what is inside in this sensor? This is a cooling water sensor is your thermistor, as you can see here. So one terminal is connected to the body, and one terminal is connected to the your thermistor. So it is submerged here in the water. So as you can see here, this is water inside. So we'll see, and we put here the temperature. So now is the temperature is 20 degrees Celsius. So we will put it in 0. So how to put it in 0? We will put this water into your freezer so that we can reach the temperature here in 0. So now it's in 0. So this is experiment. So from 0, we will boil the water up to its boiling temperature, which is 100 degrees Celsius. So we boil the water. So now we already boiled the water. So with the sensor inside here. So now is 100 degrees Celsius, which is the boiling point of the water. So we already boil. So in explaining the relationship of the resistance to the temperature, we have here the Celsius and the Fahrenheit. So as you can see here, when the temperature is decreases, the resistance when the resistance is decreases, the temperature is increases. So now as you can see here, this 400 ohms here. So going down to 0 ohms. So it decreases the increases the temperature. So that is the how to read the what we call the resistance in relation to the that is the relationship between the resistance of the thermistor in the relation to the temperature. So in the resistance so this condition is in the negative temperature coefficient. So because in the positive temperature coefficient, the resistance is going up, the temperature also going up. But in the negative temperature coefficient, the resistance is going down, but the temperature is still going up. So the relation here is using the negative temperature coefficient. So next, so as you can see here, it is also applied. So the thermistor type sensor is also used here in the we have here the example, the high temperature water cooling system. So your temperature sensor here is thermistor type, is connected to the pipe, submerged. The sensor is submerged. The pipe it sends signals to your controller so that it can control automatically. Also here in the low temperature press water, there is a temperature sensor which is the thermistor type. It is submerged here. This is mounted to your pipe, and the sensor is submerged. The sensor probe is submerged to the your cooling water, and it sends signals to your controller so that it can control automatically. So this is the application of the automation. So next, we discuss the pyrometer. So what is pyrometer? So a pyrometer is an instrument that measures temperature remotely. So example, by measuring radiation from the object without having to be in contact. So when we say remotely, it is on board the ship. We have a pyrometer which is wired from your let's say exhaust gas of the main engine and the auxiliary engine. That is that sensor, that pyrometer is mounted on the individual exhaust pipe of the engine, also the inlet of the turbo and the outlet of the turbocharger, and it is wired going to the engine control room, so to the computer. And there is also a pyrometer which is local, which is directly mounted to its individual what we call the uh, exhaust pipe of the engine. So we will see now, we will see here. So this is one example. So marine temperature measurement instrument. So the most common pyrometer on ship. So here, this is, let's say, the housing or the individual exhaust manifold of your engine. So you put the sensor here, and this is wired going to the temperature indicator, so in the engine control room. So this is also there is also local temperature, the pyrometer in each cylinder that is also wired, but it is around 1 meter. It is mounted, the thermometer and the sensor is mounted to the individual exhaust pipe, and it is wired. It is what we call it is mounted the thermometer 1 meter or 2 meters away of your exhaust pipe, but it's wired. So that is also local thermometer. So that is a temperature indicator. So it sends signals to the sensor. When it is heated, the housing, it is also heated the sensor inside the housing, and it sends signals to read the temperature to your through your temperature indicator. So this is looks like. So here we have this is what I mentioned a while ago, that this is wired. So as you can see, this is sensor that is mounted to the individual exhaust pipe, and this is the thermometer, which is glycerin filled. As you can see here, there is a fluid inside. So glycerin filled. This is to protect the component here side, and to protect against the vibration. So this is the vibration of, there is a vibration of the shape. So this so that this component here inside the pointer, other component will not be damaged. So this is wired local thermometer. This is directly mounted local pyrometer, directly mounted to the individual exhaust pipe. So those are the application of the pyrometer. So as you can see here, this is your main engine of the ship. So your pyrometer is mounted here, the individual exhaust pipe. So here is the there is a expansion joint here for the bellows. So beside here are your sensors are mounted here in the wall here. So that is the application of your pyrometer. So we have also bimetallic devices. So take advantage of the expansion of the metals when they are heated. So in these devices, two metals are bonded together and mechanically linked to a pointer. So when heated, one side of the bimetallic strip will expand more than the other. And when geared properly to a pointer, the temperature is indicated. So we will see here. So this is your bimetallic strip. So this one is just illustration. This is a file. So to illustrate, so this is a flat file. So to illustrate, uh, this is an experiment. So we have heated the bimetal or the metal here, and this when this metal is heated, this become curved. As you can see, become curved. So here on board ship we have a thermostat. So thermostat. So we use the thermostat in our uh, refrigeration system on board ship. So this is a thermostat. So inside the thermostat there is a bimetal strip. So this is bimetal strip. So as you can see here, this is coil. So this is inside the thermostat. So uh, this thermostat is connected to the linkage, and there is a probe here, sensor here, which is filled with mercury. So when and this probe, this sensor here, the mechanism here, the sensor is connected to the wire going to the sensor probe, to the ROM. So when the sensor probe inside the ROM temperature is detected, since it is heated, and since the temperature signal here and the what we call the mercury is expand. So when this expanded, since this is connected to your bimetal strip, this is the coil here, this will expand, and here uh, this will move and engage or disengage the linkage. So we will see here. So as you can see, the mercury uh, is connected to the electrodes. So the electrodes is mounted to the ROM to detect the uh, what we call the room temperature. So it sends signals here to your mercury here, and then it expands here on your uh, bimetallic strips and move the linkage of the, because there is a mechanical linkage here. So move the linkage of your uh, thermostat, and this one will move also. So the contact of your or the circuit of your what we call your thermostat is activating or deactivating your uh, what we call your solenoid valve of your repair or refrigeration system. So it either give opening signal or close signal to your solenoid valve to add to increase the supply of the refrigerant or to decrease the supply of refrigerant. So in order to control the room temperature of your mid room and fish room and the vegetable room of your repair, let's say your provision repair board ship. So that is the application of your thermostat, which is using bimetallic devices. So this one is your thermostat. So this is looks like this is the actual photo of your thermostat. So cold rooms temperature controls. So this sensor probe is mounted to your room to detect the room temperature of your mid room, your fish room, and your vegetable room, and it sends signals. So what is inside here is the, the fluid. So it is probably it is glycerin inside, glycerin fluid, and when this is heated or the changes of the temperature here, it's since it's either this fluid inside will expand or what we call shrink. So it can be activated the mercury here inside, and the mercury will expand or shrink inside here in the bimetal strip. So this thermostat will control the temperature of room temperature of your repair, let's say provision repair. So next, so this is your provision repair. So you have here the compressor, the condenser, and you have the fridge. So here is your probably your mid room, your fish room, and your vegetable room. So by the use of your bimetallic devices, which is thermostat, so it can control the room temperature of your repair system. Next, so monitoring of temperature is very important in any industrial plant and in ships. So for instance, in the seawater system, so maintaining the temperature of seawater to a certain value. So before being fed in the diesel generator, fresh water, coolers, and other machineries also we are very attentive with the temperature readings of our generators and main engine. So in order to measure temperature, sensors are used. So this sensor converts physical measurements. So those sensors we discuss are the sensors which measures physical measurements such as temperature, pressure, and flow to an electrical form for the controller to analyze. So we have the activity for your lab manual activity. So I sent already this one in your binacle, this activity. So based on our discussion, you have to do this activity and read carefully the instruction here. So after your activity, you have to submit it to me through Binakill. So after this discussion, so since this is recorded discussion, so we should conduct an oral recitation during discussion, but this is recorded, so I will schedule later. So please also do your exercise 3, which is temperature measuring devices using thermocouple. So in your lab manual. So I send this video in your Binakill, your LMS. So just click this link in order for you to watch. So this video of engineer Wera. So this is the end of our discussion. Please click like and share. Write a comment below. Please subscribe and don't forget to click notification button so that you will be updated on my next video. Thank you for watching and see you on my next video.